Hey, what's up? We back live. Politics on the corner. Real Rap Cain. Thank y'all for joining me. Thank y'all. Your first time here, like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know you're here. Your first time on the show, it ain't gonna go how you think it's gonna go. It's principles and parameters. If you violate that, if you die, you die.
30 seconds in, you already said it.
Hey, man. That's what we on. Let's go ahead and get that out the way. We gotta show the landscape of what this ain't ordinary. This ain't ordinary. Looking for jokes and laughs. I might have a couple jokes, but it don't meant to be jokes. Just you probably can't believe I said that. Phil, what's up?
Not much, man. How's life for you?
Everything's all right.
Well, you know what's not all right?
What's not all right?
Your fans.
What happened? Hey, listen, man. Hey, listen. I don't know what's wrong with people. People need hugs or affection or something. It's all good, though.
Yeah. So what I do, I normally scour the internet and look at Real Rap Cain says his social media and look at some of the comments that he says, because just like he said before, some people just don't get it. And so this is a segment that we like to call Angry Replies. All right.
What's this week angry reply?
So this week's angry reply is in reference to your short bad cops make good cops bad. Okay?
Okay.
And here we go. Now change the words from bad cops to bad black people shooting other black people and the good black people standing around not doing anything or even telling the cops who shot who. No question. All right?
This guy right here is such an idiot. I had to send him away politely. As you can see, if you've seen last week, that was about 2 weeks ago. So if you've seen the show from 2 weeks ago, that was the frontal cortex show, right? Prefrontal cortex. When I brought up the cop situation, I didn't bring race nowhere into the play of that, right? That was really a general statement that applies to everyone, right? Because bad police can impact everyone. Every part of society can be impacted by bad police. Facts of life, right? Whether you in your house, driving in the car, walking down the street, at work, it don't matter. Bad cops are bad cops. This guy went out his way to bring up the black element, right? So it was two things I said to him, right? Clearly, you don't watch my show because I definitely hold black people accountable. I don't think no one can say that. I talk more crap about black people than anybody else. I'm not really telling crap. I'm just telling the truth.
Right.
Right? So that's a clear indication you don't watch my show, right? So then he say, yeah, I don't want to watch your leftist show. Once again, clearly, because, I don't care about red, blue, purple, orange, white, green. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about left, right, up, down. I don't care about none of the politics. What governs us is principles and parameters. What governs us is right and wrong. That's it. I don't do the gray area. Black and white. That's it. I don't do all that weird stuff y'all into. So when I shut him down and informed him of what we do on this platform and who I am and how I approach things, I told him to go away. One yourself. And he took my advice and went away before it got bad, because then I just was going to humiliate him online. But it's one thing, right? That if you come in the comments, and I got a lot of people that come in my comments and they ask questions, right? Or they have their perspective and they would say, it's just my perspective. I don't mean no disrespect. It's just the way I see it, right? And then we actually have a real dialogue in the comments, and then they understand better, because it's kind of hard sometimes to understand from a 60-second clip of what I'm talking about, why I'm talking about it, right?
Yep.
So, which is cool. That's by design, right? It's to get the activity and get the engagement, right? So those that kind of know a little bit about the topic that I'm speaking on, they come in the comments and they comment or they just ask a question, and we have a real dialogue of education, right? And at the end of it, they're like, damn, I didn't know that's what you were saying or where you was going with that. Okay, I'm going to go check out the show now. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it's supposed to go. That's the whole idea of it, right? But when you guys jump out the plane with no parachute, if you die, you die.
Do you think they search for these things? Or
I don't know. I just
can't
think,
wait to say this. Turn this around the race.
yeah, I think, man, it don't even matter if I say, man, that sky is bluer than I ever seen. Oh yeah, because a black person got killed today. A black person killed the black person today. That's why the sky blue like that. What? It's like, it don't matter what the conversation is or what the subject matter is. It's going to come back. It's going to be a black guy with a fitted hat or a snapback they see online talking about something, and it's, when you going to talk about black killing blacks? What?
It's like they just have that in there.
Hey, you dummy. I did a whole show damn near on that, and I keep repeatedly bringing it up, dummy. I shouldn't say dummy. Okay, dummy. What we got next, Phil? Let's. It gets irritating. Like sometimes I can laugh it off, and sometimes it's like, yo, it doesn't even make sense. Like you're going out of your way and you're forcing. It's almost like those other letter conversations that people force into equations. You know what I'm saying? It's like it really don't fit within the storyline, but you're just going to interject it in there anyway, huh?
Oh my gosh, I have people in my life that are like that. I'm talking about something completely different, and then somehow they pull these word gymnastics to get to where they want it to go, which has nothing to do with what you said.
Following the conversation? Like, are you really following? You know, after D comes E. It's not H, it's not M, it's E.
Oh my gosh.
But let's go, Phil. What we got?
All right, a sad story here out of Martha's Vineyard. We got the Obama family chef dies while paddleboarding on Martha's Vineyard. You heard about that one?
Yeah. Shit. I don't spill water all over the place in here.
All right, we'll get it. No worry.
Nah, I split it on my phone, so that's a bad part.
Uh-oh.
This story is weird to me. I picked this story because it's weird. This guy, their personal chef, he was actually their chef when they was in office, when Obama was in office. I think he did both terms with him, or at least 6 years or something like that with him. And he's vacationing up in Martha's Vineyard at the Obama's residence, right? They're not with him. Right? And thank you. And allegedly, I always gotta use the word allegedly, right? Allegedly, he was out paddleboarding and lost control and somewhere in there lost consciousness and died.
But the chef, are you thinking there's like there was a conspiracy behind that or something, or like what?
Hey, man, listen. You can surmise what you want to surmise. All I'm saying is that he was the chef when he was in office. Mm-hmm. He was the chef. He continued to be the chef in his personal life. He was up Martha's Vineyard, paddleboarding. Right?
Mm-hmm. Now, paddleboarding is when you're laying on the...
No, the paddle, you can lay on the board, you can stand up on the board.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Was he black?
Black guy.
Oh, you gotta stay out of the water, man.
Right? Paddleboarding. Somewhere in there, like I said, he fell, lost consciousness, died. Allegedly. Only thing that's accurate, only thing that you can't debate is he was at Martha's Vineyard and he died. That's the only two things that's not subjective. Right. Only two things that you really can't question. Well, three things. He was the personal chef, he was at Martha's Vineyard, and he died. Oh, he's at their personal residence. He was staying at their personal residence. So there's four things you can't debate. Whether or not he was actually paddleboarding, who knows? Did he, if he was paddleboarding, did he just fall because he just lost control, lost his balance, and hit his head and died? Who knows?
That's fishy because
they said they found trauma on his. They found trauma on his body though.
But Martha's Vineyard isn't like rip current.
Right? No, I mean, it probably can get kind of rough. I mean, like any other body of water, it probably can get kind of rough. I wouldn't think that it'd been that crazy, because he's paddleboarding. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to paddleboard, and it's not like surfboard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but then they said they found trauma on his body, like signs of trauma. So I guess what he fell that hard in the water, and listen, man, he was a personal chef. He was at their crib in Martha's Vineyard, and he died. That's all. Does it seem odd? Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely seems odd. It's definitely some question marks. He definitely would know more than the average bear does.
Yeah.
You know, people die every day, B. What's next?
All right, you want to go with old politicians, or
yeah, let's go with the old. Let's go with, since we on Obama, let's stay on this train.
All right, everybody knows who Mitch McConnell is, right?
Yeah, he like 100.
I think this is proof that he is a robot or an alien. So take a look at this.
This week has been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
and the camera zooms in.
Mitch done froze again. Like, they better come get him. Damn it, Mitch. Mitch done froze again.
Hit the reset button.
Control Alt Delete.
Could you address what happened here at the start of the press conference, and was it related to your
Go ahead. Go to the
injury
next
from
one.
earlier this year when you suffered?
All right, here we go. Take a look at. Let me turn the volume on here. Come on. Why'd you do that?
Hit the volume. Hit the volume.
Oh, it's naturally muted. What's going on there?
See, that's what happens when Phil is off for a couple of weeks.
Hang on. Technical difficulties.
That's what happens. Can't let Phil be off for a couple of weeks.
I know, right?
This, it provides.
Phil, you got to put back on the screen, Phil.
Say aye.
Pardon me?
Aye.
Yeah.
Just say
I would like to support a yes vote on this. It provides $823 billion. That's an increase of $26 billion for the Department of Defense. And it funds priorities submitted.
yeah. Just say aye.
Okay, just. Aye.
Thank you.
And these people are running the country?
So my main purpose of showing this, besides the laugh, right? We got to have some humor in here. This is why this country can't really have true progression, man. She's 80 years old. Mitch McConnell's like 70-something. They don't know if they coming or going. You know what I mean? And that was a voting session that she was in. And somebody just told her, just say aye. She don't know what she's saying aye for. Let's bring back slavery, aye. Like, she has no idea what she's saying aye for. She has no idea what she's agreeing, what piece of legislation she's agreeing to enact into law. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mitch McConnell, I don't know if he had a mini stroke, mini seizure, or he just, I don't know, had a brain freeze. Like, I don't know what that was about, but he definitely was lost in translation.
His batteries ran out.
This is why this country can't have true progression. This is part of the reason. You got people with these old ideologies, this old way of thinking, and on top of that, they just flat out old. They supposed to be at home somewhere playing with the great-great-grandkids. I probably had too many greats in there. I did that on purpose. That's what they supposed to be. Not on nobody's floor, voting on no piece of legislation. Somewhere in there, I think the progression, like the true progression, like there's a lot of things that's needed. But one of the main core pieces that's needed is they need to start putting terms on how many years they can serve in Congress. They need to cap it, hard cap line, and enforce it, and no waivers, no nothing, starting tomorrow.
What would you cap it at?
I would probably cap it at like the military. I think, no parts of the military, you can't serve past 59. You know what I mean? Then they get a little waivers here and there for certain stuff. But I want to say 59 is the cap. I could be wrong. Somebody could correct me out there if you would. But I want to say 59 is the cap. I would cap it at that. Me personally. Or even 65. Let's say 65. That's probably still too. No, I think 59, 60 is better. You got to get people out there, man. You got to get people out of there. You got to get people that's on the pavement, beating the streets, freaking fresh blood, fresh ideas, fresh point of views. That's the whole point of diversity, right? Like, that's the biggest part of diversity. Ain't no diversity on Capitol Hill. They all old as hell. And people that's young, they ain't got no voice. You got to sit in the corner and be quiet. You ain't got enough time in. So, yeah, that's a major problem, man. When they literally on camera, he literally froze at the podium. Like somebody pushed pause. And then his handlers had to come get him like, come on, Mitch, damn it, you don't froze again. Somebody give Mitch some WD-40. That's crazy. What we got next, Phil?
Have you seen the movie Cocaine Bear?
I absolutely have.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was a funny, entertaining movie.
And it was partly a true story, right?
Yes. No. It was a true story. Not partly. It was absolutely a true story.
Wow. Well, this next story, it falls on that lines, but this is actually happening.
If sharks aren't terrifying enough to some of you, there's a new threat in the waters off of Florida.
How about sharks hopped up on cocaine? Experts say sharks may be gobbling up bales of drugs, which have been dumped off the Florida coast by smugglers. Marine biologists went to study the phenomenon. They conducted experiments and spotted a hammerhead shark swimming into dumped packages and biting into them. That gave them what the scientists call crazy brain, where they behaved erratically. The phenomenon is featured in a new documentary for the Discovery Channel Shark Week, which starts Sunday.
Hey, man, that got to be your worst nightmare. You run into a shark in the water that's high on cocaine.
Yeah.
Well, you watch Cocaine Bear, right? You seen the sheer level of brutality that bear was inflicted on people, right? I just thought it was funny because it was like, y'all stupid, so y'all deserve to die. But they also attributed that to some with the sharks. Now, with respect to the sharks, they also attributing some of these shark bites in different parts of the eastern seaboard to cocaine. Like these sharks don't got a hand on a package or a fin or tooth on a package, and they are doing the most with it. And they high and they're attacking people and they looking for more coke so they can keep that high. You know, I mean, I think it'd be interesting to see dopamine in a shark's brain. Maybe I should do a show on that.
All right, next week.
No, I think that'll be interesting though to see the impact. Right? I think it would increase the level of the fight or flight. It will increase the fight mechanism. It will make them super aggressive. Well, that's what happened with the bear. That's all it did was it increased the fight component in the brain, and it went from fight to destroy. So, yeah, I could see that. That's pretty interesting. I think I gotta do some research on that one to see exactly how cocaine impacts a shark.
So what would be worse, a shark on cocaine or a shark having withdrawals?
Well, the shark that having withdrawal, he probably gonna be a little disoriented and probably be a little sick. So you probably take your chances better with a shark that's going through withdrawal.
Oh man,
I mean, he's still going to be erratic probably, but he probably has a little less fight in him coming off, going through withdrawal. Probably be a little sick, probably throw it up a little bit or whatever they do. But a shark that's high, nah, I don't want no chances with that. Well, I don't get in the water anyway. Y'all get in the water, listen, more power to y'all.
Can we create a shark rehab?
Yeah, Phil, I think you should head that up, but you got to jump in the water with him.
No.
Oh, come on, man.
I can't swim.
Hop on the shark's back.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, hop on the back of the shark, man. You'll be all right. Bill's character.
Hey, I want to ask you something. How come black people are lying so much, like with Carly Russell? I know we talked about her last show, right?
Uh-huh.
But there was the huge lottery winner. You saw that, right?
Yeah, what happened?
Is this real?
Absolutely, Micah and Cher. Can you believe that one person
Absolutely.
in the entire nation holds the winning billion-dollar Powerball ticket? And the store that sold that ticket is right behind me, the Las Palmitas Mini Market, right here in downtown Los Angeles. She's the winner? Why is this woman overcome with emotion? Does she hold the winning Powerball ticket worth more than $1 billion?
Hey, wait. Can we talk to you for just a second? Hey, wait a second. Hang on. We got
Honey, I can't. I'm scared.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Whatever the case, the California Lottery says it won't know the winner until that person comes forward to claim the prize. We do know the magical piece of paper was sold at Las Palmitas Mini Market in downtown Los Angeles. The owners are also winners, set to receive a bonus of $1 million from the state lottery.
Did she win? That's like the first rule.
So, listen, this story is super weird, right? This story is super weird. So I'm guessing that the news camera was camped out, anticipating somebody coming down there claiming the winnings. So she's in there going through the whole act as if she won, right? Crying. Well, you ain't seen near tear, but simulating crying. Running away. Like, no, I'm so scared. I won. Thank you so much. I won, but I'm so scared. Yada, yada. And she ain't win nothing. She the Carly Russell of the lottery. What's up with black folk today with this attention, man? We getting weirder and weirder. I thought we had enough attention like bad press. You know what I mean? I thought we had enough stuff naturally that we do naturally without having to go out our way to assist the foolishness. You know what I mean? Like, so how can you fake win the lottery? Like, you gotta go to the lottery office, right? You gotta produce a winning ticket. They're gonna verify the numbers, right?
Yep.
So how can you fake win a lottery? Now, if you somehow manipulated the numbers or something, like, okay, I can see that. I mean, that's not gonna work for you either, but at least, okay, E for effort. You got a whole fake news. I thought that was bizarre. That was right on the heels of what Carly did. And I was just like, damn, we doing bad right now. But this too shall pass. Hopefully she win a scratch off or something.
Right?
I mean, hopefully she gets something for her efforts. You know what I mean?
That's dangerous, though.
Yeah, she could have got herself murdered for nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Some people down there, they look like, damn, she just got a Billy. Up, duct tape in the trunk she go. Mm-hmm. Then they gonna really hurt you when they find out you lie. Yeah, listen, man. Attention is the root of all evil now. It been surpassed money. It's a crying out shame. We got to do better. Y'all playing with the wrong stuff that's going to get y'all hurt, right? Ain't no difference than y'all people to run around doing these fake pranks in stores and all that. Somebody going to get hurt bad. Y'all need to reverse course and do something different and find another way to entertain yourself.
Well, if you like entertainment, I know this show is not bashing cops, but sometimes cops make errors.
What happened?
But, here we go. And they actually admit they made a mistake.
Oh, this is my. I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, I know some cops out there, right? And they gonna start seeing the pattern, and I'm gonna get a call probably when I leave here that I'm going to have to ignore because I don't feel like arguing. But this is my weekly dose of cops do dumb shit. Pull that back up.
All right. I need to make a theme song for you there.
So what happened right here, right? This woman is traveling in Texas, right? She's traveling in Texas for some kind of event, and the cop was pulling, but the cop got behind her or was telling her something like that, and was running plates because the particular model car she had is commonly stolen in that area with Frisco, Texas, or whatever the case may be, right? I think it was an Impala or something like that. But whatever car she pulled over, the cop pulled over, said that the plate was ran because this car is frequently stolen. So they was checking to see if the car was stolen. Well, what happened in this particular matter is that their place was Arkansas plates. The cop ran the numbers and then for state put AZ for Arizona. So instead of putting AR, the cop put in AZ. Well, the tag came back stolen. Stolen vehicle, that is. Not the tag stolen, the vehicle stolen. So what wound up happening is, and all my cops out there, all my cops that know what's about to happen is you about to get a high risk felony stop, right? So that means gunpoint. That means you're gonna wait for backup. They're gonna surround the car and without the crossfire, right? And they're gonna pull everyone out of the car one by one, including the kids in the back that was participating in the tournament, right? So the chief of police did come out and say they made a mistake, yada. But guess what? The adults probably can get over this kind of quick, but those kids going to be traumatized for a while. Yeah. With all this technology out here, right, where you got the automated plate reader, you got all kinds of technology out here where fat fingering, putting in a license plate should no longer be an issue. And I'm also curious to know what the procedure was for our wives verifying that car was stolen. I'm also curious to know what that procedure, what their local policy, agency policy look like when it comes to that. See, this is part of the reason why, I got people that say, they talk to me about the police and bridging the gap and how can they improve upon policing, right? And, they got the qualified immunity. Yeah, the immunity, blue wall of silence nonsense, all that needs to go away. If a cop mess up, the cop mess up. For a while, when we talking about criminally, right? There should be no protection for criminality with the police, right? Got to find a way, and I know it's hard. It's easier said than done, but the unions is a big problem. Is a big part of the problem. Those police unions are a big part of the problem. I know they get paid to defend cops and protect cops. That's what they get paid for. But some of this stuff, they got to sit it out, man. They guys got to say, damn, we can't stand by that one. You know what I mean? Like somewhere in it, it got to be a governor. It got to be principles and parameters. But there is no way in 2023, like 5 months from being 2024, think about that. That with all this technology out here, people are getting pulled over erroneously from our human error for a while as inputting information into a system. You got to be kidding me. Not when they got devices that they can shoot onto your car and it would disable the engine. It would kill the whole electric system. Like, stop it, man. Stop it. Stop it.
Well, what do you say about them if they have a dog, a canine?
What happened? Let's see.
That though it was the Ohio State Highway Patrol that initiated this traffic stop, it's the actions of the Circleville, Ohio Police Department that are being called into question here, and their decision to release their canine officer as the suspect involved, as you're about to see, seemed to be in the process of surrendering himself to authorities. Now, a warning to viewers, and we cannot do it enough, this video is difficult to watch, and we'll warn you again when the footage takes that disturbing turn. The footage provided by Ohio State Highway Patrol is disturbing, but now under scrutiny after a man was mauled by a police officer's canine. July 4th, Jackson County, Ohio. A case report shows a highway patrol officer in a marked vehicle tried stopping the driver of this big rig for a missing mud flap. The man behind the wheel, later identified by authorities as 23-year-old Jadarius Rose, drives on, and a chase begins. About 20 minutes into the pursuit, the big rig is seen rolling to a stop. Get out of the truck! But that lasts only a few seconds. The driver continues to flee, and officers stay on him for another 8 minutes.
He took off again. We're heading northbound.
It wasn't until police used tire deflation devices
We're stopped.
that the chase came to a slow but dramatic and disturbing stop. That's a Circleville, Ohio Police Department canine unit rolling up to the scene. After repeated orders from state troopers, the driver eventually steps out of the rig, his hands in the air as requested. A patrolman is heard asking the canine to not be released. Though it's unclear if he could be heard by all officers on scene, that's when the canine is deployed.
Do not release the dog with his hands up. Do not release the dog with his hands up. Do not release the dog with his hands up. Don't get the dog off of him.
After the canine takedown, an officer approaches, then quickly walks away, her hands covering her face as Rose screams in pain. The frustration audible in the voice of another state officer.
Was that not loud enough?
After the dog is removed, officers move in to arrest Rose and administer first aid.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, that video disturbed me, right? And I'm gonna give context to this video. More context than what you was able to understand. So, like they said, this truck was being pulled over for a missing mud flap. The driver was scared. Well, he said he was scared. He was on the phone with his mother, right? Telling his mom what was going on. The police was behind him. He didn't understand why, right? When he pulled over initially, he was on the phone with 911, and also explaining to them that he didn't understand why he was being pulled over, right? So he's saying what he's saying. They telling him to just pull over, right? At the end of the day, he should have just pulled over. Let me make that part abundantly clear. Easy for some people to say, though, if you're generally scared, right? And obviously, when you look at the aftermath, it almost looks like he had a reason, right? So, you can hear multiple times the command, don't release the dog while he's surrendering. Don't release the dog while he's surrendering. He released the dog anyway. When he released the dog initially ran towards the other troopers that was given the order not to release him. He pointed, the cop, the canine officer, then pointed at the guy and told the dog to get him. I don't know if y'all can see all that. Listen, I get it, right? A part of me get it, right? You're frustrated. This guy wouldn't comply. This guy didn't pull over. You had to pretty much initiate a felony stop at that point. You had to put in spike strips and all that stuff to deflate his tires. I get it. You're frustrated, right? Your frustration does not give you the green light to do that, though. You know what I'm saying? It don't give you the green light to take your frustration out on him. It doesn't. You could cuss him out. You could do all that. It don't give you the right to beat him. It don't give you the right to stick the K9 on him. It don't give you the right to tase him. It don't give you the right to shoot him. Whether y'all realize it or not, this is why less and less people are willing to comply, rather just run for it. You got to look at the other side of the table, right? Are some people running because they just going to run anyway? Absolutely. Some people going to do what they're going to do. Are some people genuinely scared of the police? Absolutely. And it's typically people that have witnessed the police beat people handcuffed, stomp people handcuffed, from their brain to their feet. You can't have it both ways. There's no way in there you tell me that was justified with him releasing the K9. So I think, my understanding, I think that cop was suspended or something like that. The standard blurb, we're reviewing internal policy and procedures. You know, that's standard, right? There's no procedure or policy on the books that says you can release the K9 on any subject, on any offender, on any suspect that has given up, that has their hands in the air. Nowhere in there, any policy doesn't say that. So this is once again why I was having a conversation last week, and I told him, I said, I think the word policy is overutilized. Because and this is a prime example why I said what I said. Because nowhere in there is that a written policy that you can release a K9 on someone that has surrendered. Now, when they not complying, they haven't surrendered, they're not following commands. Okay, I've seen that. I've heard of that. I've never seen it when somebody literally had both of their hands in the air listening to instructions. And you pulled up to the scene after he surrendered. So you got out of the car, your intentions was already embedded in your brain before you even got to the scene. You already knew what you was going to do. That's what that signifies right there. That's exactly what that signals. You knew what you were going to do. Your mind was on go and you ain't have no brakes. So now what do they do with him? Do they take away his K9? Do they take away him being a K9 officer? Do you fire him? Do you suspend him? How long is the suspension? Or is it just a mark in his service record? But these are the kind of cops right here that if he was fired, right, this is my problem with the system. If he was fired from this agency, he can go to the agency next door and get hired in a heartbeat. That's part of the problem. I've been saying that forever. That's part of the problem. Hold bad cops accountable as bad cops and ensure they no longer wear a badge of any sort, not even at Target, not even at Ross as a loss prevention officer.
But black people, Jay.
Yeah, it's our fault. It's our fault. It's our fault. Yeah, the canine officer sick the dog on the black guy, but somewhere over there, somewhere a black guy shot a black guy. I got it. My bad. I'm worried about the wrong shit. That's typical. I got it. My bad. I'm getting better. I promise you I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna work on it. Tell me where in this makes sense. Like, it's beyond illogical. But that's my problem. I'm so pro-logic. And that's what gets me in trouble. Because the moment it doesn't make sense, my brain just, I do Mitch McConnell, I freeze. My brain just goes dormant. Like, shut down. Like, it got to make sense. Like, somebody got to explain that one to me. But I'm pretty sure someone's going to call me trying to explain that one to me. Especially my K9 officers. All right, what we got, Phil? Let's go ahead.
So, you ready for the Olympics coming up?
Well,
we got the Ozempic Olympics.
Oh yeah, we do got the Ozempic Olympics. Y'all know I ain't right. Y'all know I ain't right. Ozempic. Ozempic is they call it GLP-1. That's GLP. That's Golf Lima Papa TAC 1. It's a receptor agonist, right? So it's a type 2 diabetes drug that you take once a week, right, Phil? You take it once a week.
Once a week, correct.
And what's it for? The purpose of insulin, right? So for your body to produce insulin, to help your body with produce insulin?
So it's not insulin, but yeah, it helps you with that and helps you regulate your blood sugar. So
yeah, your A1C1, right?
Your A1C, correct.
Okay. So it helps you regulate all that. But what you didn't know, what I didn't know was it also helps you lose weight, right? You probably knew that to some extent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the losing weight is just a byproduct side effect of you needing it for type 2 diabetes, right?
Yeah, and so what it does, and this is from firsthand experience. I am a Ozempic user, right? You feel like crap for 3 days after taking it. You don't eat.
Okay.
So it's an appetite suppressant. I didn't. It wasn't like I was taking it to do that, you know. So that was just a side effect. Oh, I don't eat as much. You know.
Yeah. So my understanding is that you don't eat as much. If you do try to force yourself to eat, you become like real nausea, right?
Absolutely. Oh yes.
Headaches, nausea.
It's like a really bad hangover.
Yeah. So my understanding. So what I didn't realize was people was using this as a primary means to lose weight, right? They don't have diabetes. They're not diabetic. But in their mind, they want to lose weight, whether they're actually overweight or obese, right? Which, 2/3 of the American population is overweight or obese. But over 25 million people are diabetic, with the majority of them being type 2 diabetic. So I guess there's a balancing act here. Well, not really, because you shouldn't be using it for that, right? And what concerns me about this drug is that when you're using it for the purposes of losing weight, there is not enough data to support or tell the potential long-term ramifications of using it for weight loss, right? Everything that I've read, everything that I've seen one doctor say, well, it wasn't a doctor, it was just a regular person. He said, I would advise, well, he was a doctor, my bad. He said that he would advise his patients to, or his friends, he said his friends, not patients, his friends, to wait a year or two before they take it for weight loss. Everything else I read, on average, they said 15 years of research that's going to be needed, right? To get a baseline, just to get a basic understanding of what potential ramifications could be. That's crazy to me, right? So Ozempic, oddly enough, is called, there's another name for it. Hollywood's weight loss drug.
That's what they call it?
Right? I thought that was wild, right? Hollywood's weight loss drug. So I guess you got Hollywood entertainers that when they want to drop a couple pounds, they want to hit that red carpet, they hit Ozempic. But oddly enough, there are a lot of different drugs. There's about 5 or 6 different drugs I can think of off the top of my head that are part of this family when it comes to GLP-1s, right? Wegovy was one that was, you got Wegovy, you got like 3 other ones that was specially designed for weight loss. Well, the problem with Wegovy was it sold out dumb quick, so people couldn't get their hands on it. Well, Ozempic has the same weight loss compounds that Wegovy and the other drugs have. So what happened was doctors started prescribing Ozempic to their patients for a couple of different reasons. Wegovy is not a drug where insurance companies will pay for because it falls under weight loss, whatever. They look like we're not paying for your bad heat habits or bad genetics or whatever the case may be that they think it in their head, right? They're not going to cover it. But what they will cover is Ozempic quite naturally. So doctors was backdooring it and prescribing Ozempic. Well, what that did was put them in a direct competition and competition with actual type 2 diabetic people, right? So now it was a race to see who gonna get to Ozempic first, the diabetics or the people that want to lose weight. That's why I named the Ozempic Olympics. Because to me, it's crazy, right? Because there's a lot of different factors when you're talking about this. For starters, if you start taking this to lose weight, you're going to have to take this for the rest of your life to keep the weight off. Because when you stop taking it, what people don't realize is that your fat cells shrink, but your fat cells also double. They shrink in size, but they double. So when people stop taking it, they gain on average 10 to 20 pounds more than they was before they started taking it. So if you was 280, you're looking at 290, 300 when you stop taking it. And it comes back quick. One of the main parts is because people don't change their diet. they're taking this drug, but they still keeping the same low protein, high carb diets. Anybody know anything about halfway health, you know that's jacked up. So you got people that's coming down with a condition called Ozempic face as a result of not properly dieting because you lose muscle mass. So what happens is you're losing muscle mass in your face and you're losing
So like your face is atrophy, right?
yeah, kind of, sorta. Yeah.
There's another one there.
No, that's exactly what's happening.
So you're aging. You look, you're aging.
Okay, you're aging. Yeah, okay, so what I was told about it was that you're not necessarily aging, but you are. It's like a contradiction. It's not going to make any sense to you. Ozempic gives you your true face for your age. So if you're 50, right? So before you start taking Ozempic, you're 50, but your face, facially wise, you look like you're 45. Ozempic is going to make your face, is going to give you a 50-year-old face. So to me, it's the same difference. Like, okay, well, your face still aged. Like, I don't care how you want to bring that back. That's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? Your face still aged. Let's say you lose muscle mass. You lose your connective tissue in your face as well. So your connective tissue weakens and you lose muscle mass at the same time because when you take an Ozempic, you're supposed to have a high protein, low carb diet. Average person is not going to do that. Average person is not going to work out. They're just going to look and say, oh, I'm losing weight without changing my diet and without exercising. Oh, I'm in the building. I can keep doing what I'm doing. So it's a lot of part about this that I mean, that's just the first step. That's the first step. You also increase chances for pancreatitis and pancreatic cancer. Why? Because your pancreas has GLP-1, your heart, your kidney, your central nervous system, your inner nervous system, your lungs. Like, none of this stuff has been studied to see what kind of impact that does that extra addition to GLP-1 from Ozempic is going to have on your core organs in your body when you're using it solely for a weight loss mechanism. Like, I'm pretty sure this research has been done on diabetics. It's been around long enough. You know what I mean? To compile that research and that data. But one thing about data, we just seen the problem with people, right? Same thing with the police. They had to input the information in the system. Same thing with inputting the data because they got a national doctor or whatever database, right? And the same difference. They got to input the data into the system. And a lot of times, from my understanding, the data doesn't get inputted. Or sometimes it's right data, sometimes it's wrong data. I'm just saying. It's crazy. It's like people are really, really taking all kinds of risks, which I don't understand. But the Ozempic, the Novo Nordisk, am I saying that right, Phil? Nordisk?
Yep.
That's the company that actually makes Ozempic. And they realize there's a supply shortage and they're trying their best. But at the same time, companies this size understand supply and demand. So as long as Ozempic is still in high demand, I don't have to have a lot of supply because whenever I hit the streets with it, it's going to sell out quick. So I could take my time with manufacturing it because Ozempic, unlike the other diabetic medicines, it gives extra added benefits. It reduces cardiovascular events and assists with your fatty liver. It's the only type 2 diabetic medication that does that. So until these other pharmaceutical companies catch up and offer the same quality and the same benefits across the board, Novo Nordisk can play as many games as they want to play with the supply of the medicine.
So you want to hear some celebrities who take Ozempic for
Who's
weight
that?
loss? So Chelsea Handler, she's an old white lady comedian. Mm-hmm. Elon Musk, one of the richest men on the planet. Mm-hmm. the young Kardashian sister. What's her name? Khloe.
Okay.
Not Mila Kunis, but she's a Indian. Mila Kunis.
Okay.
Let's see here, and a bunch of Instagram. It looks like
I could believe Instagram.
Charles Barkley.
Wow.
Yeah, Charles Barkley, Amy Schumer.
Wow.
Let's see here. We got Tiffany Haddish.
That's okay.
All right.
Well, it's not surprising because it's Hollywood's weight loss drug. So, I mean, it spreads like wildfire, and we're America is a weird place, right? Because America is so into body shaming, so to say, right? If you don't weigh a certain amount, you don't look good, or if you weigh too little, you don't look good. If you weigh too much, you don't look good, right? It's super physique conscious, so to say, right? But at the same time, it's probably I think it still is the most obese country on the planet. So it's like, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like there's so many contradictions within a societal standpoint. But at the same time, you do have people out there that talk about losing weight. That's why Jenny Craig's still around and been in business forever, even though I don't personally know no one that ever. I mean, I know people that was on it and they lost weight eventually, but then they didn't keep the weight off, and it's just weird. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But it seemed like weight loss drugs or kits or services or whatever is like, it's probably $1 billion industry in this country. I would assume it's $1 billion industry. But the food industry is also probably $1 trillion industry, right? What's the chocolate industry? How many billions is the chocolate industry?
Let's take a look.
Like, it got to be something crazy, right? It got to be something crazy. So you get this weight loss drug that it curbs your appetite, but it has so many bad side effects. Right, it can cause stomach paralysis. I already talked about the.
I got a number here for you.
What's the number?
So the global chocolate industry is worth an estimated $300 billion per year.
It's like I'm saying, it's like it's so many. It doesn't make sense, right? So it's like it's not tackling the actual problem of what's causing obesity, what's causing people to be overweight. You know what I mean? Like, if you go to Europe, even our food portions are crazy, right? You go to Europe, they food portions don't. A nugget is probably the quarter the size of a nugget in America, in Europe. Like, it's super small. Like, it's like that big. You know what I mean? It's like we embrace the glutton culture, but we also embrace and conscious about weight. You know what I mean? Like, to me, like I said, it's an oxymoron. It doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's quite confusing. But I just thought this was important to talk about for so many reasons, because of the health risks that people are actually taking. The long-term potential health risks that they're taking, on top of you taking the medicine away from people that actually need it. Like, you got people that need this to live. Now, because you say, they got themselves in that situation. Okay. Well, I guess the other way to look at it is, another way to look at it on top of that is, well, I'm not diabetic yet, but if I take Ozempic, then I'm not going to be diabetic because I'm going to lose weight. So I'm not going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, no, there are other drugs and medications that you can get. But on top of that, you still have to do your part with the diet part. Like, it's asinine at that point. You're going to continue eating the way you eating. It's just like going to get a tummy tuck. Like, you're going to see Dr. Miami. Then when you leave Dr. Miami, you're going to Fridays or something. Like, you're going to eat a bunch of fried food. You know what I mean?
So in Planet Fitness used to have free pizza days?
Yeah, I mean, it's asinine. You know what I mean? I know they're not around no more like that, but you're going to see Dr. Miami, but then you're going to Bob Evans afterwards. You know what I mean? I know Bob Evans ain't around like that no more. I'm probably showing my age a little bit, but
Showing your Virginia there.
Well, no, that's Bob Evans way more than there. It was Maryland. It was, I think PA had some, but yeah, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and it's the same concept. There are things you have to do. You have to work out. You know what I mean? Like in order to maintain that, you have to do your part. You got to diet right. You got to work out. Like what are you doing? And you could potentially be hurting yourself like crazy without even realizing it, right? You decrease your bone density. You decrease your immune system. And I read something that said you decrease your longevity. I don't know if that meant your lifespan or I don't know what exactly it was that meant, but I've read that and I was like, longevity? What you mean by that?
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean? All because Hollywood stars talked about it. It's going crazy on social media. Your cousin in them next door, she dropped 100 pounds in 2 weeks. You trying to figure out how she do that. There's nothing healthy about not eating. Like, do people understand that? Your body needs to intake a certain amount of protein and healthy carbs. There's a such thing called healthy carbs. Without that, your body isn't functioning properly. Like you lose. It gotta impact your brain if you're not eating properly. Like that's just 1 + 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I said. I thought it was important. If I laughed about it with somebody, but really, it's really not a laughing matter because when things come around, and I got a feeling it's gonna come around for the bad when these real studies and data analysis are going to be able to done with enough examples and years that what they find out happened as a result of that is going to be damn near catastrophic. It's like you always got to remember, even with diabetics, even when you go see your doctor, the number one thing that you always got to remember is they're practicing medicine. The practice part is the key part. I had got medicine prescribed a bunch of times that I know I probably actually needed that I didn't take because I'm so afraid of putting different medicines and stuff in my body. Like, because of that long-term impact. It's like, yeah, I need it for that. Or yeah, I need this for nerve pain, but at the same time, look at these side effects. And there's not even enough data to see if this is the only thing that's going to happen. You know what I mean? So why would you take something for the sole purpose of losing weight that people need for type 2 diabetes? Maybe, once again, I'm so pro-logic. I think with logic is my damn problem. But black folk, we got to do better. We got to lay off fried foods. I know fried chicken is that work. We got to eat it in moderation, though. Get an air fryer. If you want to eat, like don't put food in all that grease, get an air fryer. They got a lot of different versions of air fryers today where you can eat a little. You can eat your favorite foods, but eat it in a more healthier manner. But we got to lay off fried foods. We got to lay off the red meat. We got to lay off the sodas and the juices and all that sugar. You know what I mean? Increase the water intake. Like I said, healthy carbs. There's a such thing as healthy carbs. You don't need 4 or 5 rolls with your dinner. 1 will suffice. I know them Hawaiian rolls is the bomb. They great, but you don't need to eat a whole loaf to yourself. You know what I mean? Like there are things that we can do to help ourselves that we got to become better disciplined at to lower our diabetes, to lower our heart disease, to lower these ailments that are really aligned and we're predisposed to because of our just being black, our DNA, our genetics. Like, we got to do better with health. Walk, get outside, walk, do some push-ups. I'll see y'all next week.